Hello everybody, Reggie Time here. We're playing some Quadminers again. This videos this club where we've been making the nano stakes videos, the previous two on the channel if you watch my videos chronologically. We're switching it up a little bit here. We're still playing Quadminers, but we're playing some much higher stakes stuff. But you can still see tons of fish around. This first table is a 10-20 table, which is effectively 40 NL in US dollars. This is a 25-50 table, which is effectively 100 NL in US dollars, and this is a 30-60 table, which is 60 NL or something. I don't fucking know. So we're playing. We haven't got the bankroll for this. I've literally got almost all my chips on the table at this. In fact, we may as well put them all on. Reload. Oh, we already have. So we're all in on this table on this account. So if we go broke, then we're two tabling, or the video will be short. And then we've got a little bit left. We've got like 2 bullets and a bit on this one, and bullet and a half on this one or whatever. So we're playing way outside of our bankroll. I'm going to be trying to play well, but there's going to be no spunking around like we did on previous videos. But it could. I guess you'll soon find out. If we bust our roll on any table, then it'll be just about the end of the video, because we don't really want to be two tabling no limit hold'em. So we're trying our best not to bust our rolls while still playing as well as possible. But you'll know, I guess you'll know how long the video is yet. I don't know how long it is yet. It is currently 1 minute 30 seconds. Could be 10 minutes, could be 45 minutes. We're aiming for 45 to 50 minutes, aren't we? So if you're watching this now and you can see it's a 50-minute video, then you're going to see some heat, or you're going to see some fucking dull poker, one or the other. Who knows? Most excited about this table. I haven't played 100 NL in a long time, but if ever there's a time to play 100 NL, it is when you've got a 38-12, a 61-23, a 45-5, a 38-11, and a 43-7 at your table. Ever there's a game to shot taking, it's this one right here, right now. So we are talking some pretty high stakes here in terms of micro stakes, and we're still seeing tables that are almost as soft as the ones we've seen in the nano stakes, or maybe as soft. This is 40 NL, and we've got a 52-3, a 42-8, a 45-6, 34-6, and a 54-8. This is 100 NL. We've got 38, a 61, a 45, a 38, and a 43. And this is 60 NL. We've got a 40, a 34, 21, and a 46. So, you know, this club is basically, it's the no regs club, isn't it? Basically what it is. We're not going to get squeezed here very often, and I don't want a 3-bet versus someone who's only got a 9% steal with King 10 suited. So we're just going to call, because we're just not going to get squeezed by a 40/6 with a 2% 3-bet very often. Have to call here with our top pair. Probably have to call the turn. Don't think I'll be calling 3 barrels very often versus loose passive players. I'm not even going to be in love with calling the turn, to be frank, versus the 45/7. I mean, just how often are these guys just like barreling off? I think it's too early to fold our top pair still though. Hopefully this river slows him down and he just checks back with a pretty high frequency. And we actually win. I'm going to check the 10s here because it's a board that I'm going to check on a lot. Not sure that's as relevant in super passive games. Maybe in fact, the more I think about it, the more I just don't like it. I think we should just play a lot more. We shouldn't worry about like checking boards that we're supposed to check in games where people aren't going to be attacking us as often. We should probably just play our hands way more face up than that. So perhaps I shouldn't have done that. In like tougher games, you'd rarely want to be c-betting the 9 high boards out of position. You want to have a lot of checks on them. But in these games, maybe we don't. Maybe we just want to be checking our weak hands and betting our strong hands, and not worrying that is very, very easy to exploit. I'm going to be careful, because I've never checked the traffic for these higher stakes games on this club before. Because I've mostly been all about the Aussie dollar pop bombers. But I'd literally it took me 2 minutes, not even that, to get on these 3 tables, and you know, they're really good. Really good tables, lots of money on them relative to the stakes I play. Yeah, this is 100 but not everyone's got. I mean, 100. It's 100 if people are buying it for 5,000. Most of these guys are in for nowhere near 5,000, but there's lots of just like dead money. I mean, this guy's got $20 dead money. $50 dead money. $30 dead money. You know, there's maybe I think I need to be looking at these. I mean, I think probably these games would be my best source of value rate. Probably, maybe better than Pot Bombers, playing the 40 and 60 games. So yeah, it's I mean, it's on me for never looking. Really, it's my fault. But yeah, I think we need to be investing more of our role into the Quadminers scene. I think because I'm looking and I'm liking. Let's have a vapey woo. Didn't vape in the entire of the last video. I did not have a single chug of vape. That is impressive stuff from me. I know you guys don't like the vape noise, or some of you don't, but it's just a ball ache to mute and unmute the microphone, so deal with it. That's some cooler, isn't it? Aces versus tens versus Queen Jack on that flop. That is quite the cooler. One with the ISO and with the King Jack suited and the cut off here versus two limps. Completely failing to achieve isolation. Not going to see about this board multi-way. We're just going to try and realise our equity. Instead we get donked into for an overbet. I don't think I can be folding here, can I? No, it's not an overbet anyway. I can't be folding here. We are behind, but we're not far behind. Do we get there? Yay, we do. Nice. Nice to run good in your higher stakes table that you're at. That is nice. I guess we're going to be jamming the river now. We've improved to 2 pairs. Over on table 1. I went with a quick bet to try and make it look a bit bluffy, but it didn't work. Right, do we call here out of position with the 7-6? No, our implied does just start there. I'd love to, I would love to, but no one's got any money if we do hit. So we'll just let it go. I mean, just look at this. It is 100 nil, and we've got 260 V pips, 240 V pips, and a 36. It is lovely. You love to see it, to quote Spraggy. You love to see it. A 7-6 and the ace-3 here, just getting it in for approximately $25 a piece, which is nice to see. Nice if we got dealt some reasonable holdings. can't really isolate the 7-5 with someone who's only playing a 30 blind stack. Again, 2 shorties in the blinds. I think we're just going to overlimp with the 6-4 suited. Do not improve. Going to overbet here, just take a little stab. Obviously got no equity if we get called, but no one's showing much interest in the pot apart from him, and we just rivered him. I doubt it, but you never know. Yes, we have. Lovely. I think we're going to produce this video and upload it straight away on this Monday afternoon. Hopefully it'll be uploaded by approximately 4 PM today, maybe 4:30 PM. It's currently 3 PM. If you are watching this and you like watching middle-aged nits play poker, then around 6:30 to 7 PM tonight on Twitch. For those of you guys who are ex-Sky players or are Sky players, Duesenberg will be doing his usual Monday night stream, and highly recommend you go and get involved. It's a laid back, fun stream. He's a nice guy. Shit player, but he's a nice guy. Basically hasn't got a clue what he's doing in tournaments, which is pretty much like me. And yeah, go and give him a watch. It's a good, fun stream. It's a nice community, plenty of chat. And obviously he's not as shit as I just made out, but he wouldn't want me to say he was good. He wouldn't want us having that relationship. He happily refers to me as a fat bastard. I happily refer to him as a baldy Nate who can't play poker, and I think there's a lot of mutual respect and love there. So go and give Duesenberg a watch tonight. You won't regret it, I promise you. Someone's just made a jackpot hand. Haven't made very much chips out of it, but nevertheless, they made it. Totally lost track of time in this video so far. What are we up to? 18 minutes. Probably going to play for another 20 or so, 25 on camera. Then if I want to get the video uploaded in time, I'll have to stop playing, but I'm really loath to leave this table. The ace and the queen of the same colour. That's pretty. Now we have a regular at the table now. Only the one. I've enjoyed 3-betting him, but we didn't need to. Not opening this into that stack depth. Not c-betting the ace queen. And I think we'll just pot the river. Again, for the same reason, not opening the 6-8 because of this dude with his very short stack. Mobile limp the Queen Jack versus the 11 black 12 blind limp. Obviously we'll be looking to play for his stack now, well, any stack really. And this SPR versus these two opponents. And if someone's got the cue for Queen Jack, then never mind. You do have to play slightly different ranges in these games where there are more short stacked opponents. I think like opening things like pocket fours that don't play particularly well post flop, and when you have people with like jamming stacks behind, I think opening pocket fours into the gun is probably losing play. Certainly isn't making much money if it's making any money at all. So we can't play our usual, well, say my usual, I can play my usual game just about because I'm a fucking nit. But if you are more of a loose aggressive opponent who enjoys battling down the streets post flop, then this club would be less good for you because there's just less manoeuvrability post flop. It's more about just like opening hands that have good equity against loose passive opponents, and that hands that retain their equity pretty well. Not so much playing the implied odds hands, and more just playing like the hands that have good raw equity. So there is definitely a different strategy required, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what strategy, as long as you adopt the correct strategy that's required, you're going to have like a crushing win rate for sure, because the players are just so bad. I mean, maybe things like King 10 off become an open because it has like pretty good high card strength. I haven't studied pre-flop ranges at these stat depths at all. Never really needed to. I think it's much more of a tournament thing. I mean, tournament players would understand these games far better than I would, because you know they were playing like between 25 to 40 blinds deep most of the time against most of our opponents. So I think they're excellent games for tournament players who want to like transition into some soft cash games. I think they're a fine option. They're a fine option for everybody, but less adjustments will be needed from tournaments to cash in these games than they would in other games. I'm going to go for a small value bet with our 10 here after the flop checks through. Not that likely anyone has a jack. And I think we're probably going to go for a small value bet on the river too, as long as this guy doesn't raise. 9's a pretty shit card to try and get value on, but just go like 1/3 pot, 4 to a raise. Couldn't be easier. The 9 improves a lot of his hands at call on the turn. Flushes, king, queen. And then once he raises, trivial, just not even a decision. I'm feeling rather sleepy now, so I'm quite looking forward to wrapping my session up, setting the video off on its little upload. To go back to Do Some Big, by the way, if you don't see this in time and you're watching this on some random Wednesday, then still go and follow him. Find him on Twitch and follow him. He streams every Monday. He keeps promising to stream more than just one day per week, but so far that's like my promise to do more washing up at home. It's something he says, it probably means, but and doesn't actually execute. I'm going to go with the small ISO raise here with the Queen 10 on the button versus the 45,000 with the gun limp. He calls, we flop an open ender. Easy c-bet. He check and min raises, which is just fine by me. I'm more than happy to see a turn with the dude with all our equity. 7 of clubs. Seems like a reasonable turn card. He checks. We're not going to nibble here and have another bet. We're just going to try and get there. Kind of get there, but we're not calling a bet. If he bets, we're just folding. Get a value bet paid on the river here with our Queen Jack. I'd love to see the 61-23 open here, but he doesn't. So we'll open ourselves. Pretty crummy flop, but I think we can certainly still value bet versus loose passive players. Oh, he's not even that loose passive, this dude. He's just loose and bad, isn't he? But he check raises and we have the easy fold. You're V-pipping over here in some description with the King Jack. Right, okay, maybe we're not then. Maybe we're not. He just goes all in for 19 blinds. King Jack just isn't a call, is it? Sadly, he's not a call. Now there is this. We'd love to see a flop with 2 guys with these V-pips, but the pre-flop raiser is starting with like less than a 20 blind stack, so we just need to let it go. EGC bet table 1, we're barreling on any kings, jacks, aces or spades. I think we're probably going to triple now. You can definitely call twice with like some 7x, some 6-5, 6-4, things like that that don't call the river. Huge fan of opening with this like 23 blind stack behind me, but we can't just totally knit up what we see betting this hand that has like 0 equity versus calls in a multi-way pot. trivially easy c-bet without ace-jack on table 2 if he checks to us. This guy did check min raises earlier, so downsides a little bit more in case he's doing that again. He calls, turn 6. Do we barrel here? I think we probably do. Save, like, keep 2 small bets and save up for potentially blasting the river. What are we trying to get him to fold here? Does he fold a queen if we go all in? Maybe. Or if we put him all in, sorry. He never folds a king, but we don't care about that. We're going to go for it. He folds, which is nice. Been donked into here for full pot. We're not going to fuck around and we're just going to raise this dude. And he folds. Would have been pretty sick if he jammed there. We would have had to call. I don't think we can raise that size and fold our hand there, but I did realise he was only 34-6, so he's not the whaliest of whales. He's still clearly a fucking awful poker player. He's not the whaliest of whales, and perhaps raising with the intention of stacking off there against that exact opponent maybe wasn't really the best thing, but I mean, I'm assuming this got some worse hands in the range that would donk and then 3-bet jam. Some 10x, pocket jacks, maybe the occasional draw if they're feeling a bit spicy. Who knows? Don't think I thought that one through enough though. I think we could have just called there or raised smaller possibly, but never mind. Ten suited is going to be a hand we're going to want to see flops with. Question is, do we go for a big isolation raise here and just try and take it down pre, or do we just check and roll them? I could prefer the former, try and get heads up if I can, or even just take it down now. Looks like we might be off to the races against Legendary. Okay, so we're not off to the races against Legendary. That would have been a tease of a flop, wouldn't it? What a cock tease that flop would have been, only to dash me at the end. $34. Right, so that's... We're going to play till 15:25 on the UK clock, which is 12 minutes from now. And then we're going to... I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to have a nap. Which means I can then watch Duesenberg stream tonight and then be in a state of preparedness for the cash game. Aha, yes. Some of these tables have call time features. I'll probably explain that. See this table here? To prevent people from like hitting and running, which I think is a really nice feature. If you are in profit, you need to warn the table of your intention to leave. And then once you hit the call time feature, you can't leave for 15. Well, you can leave, but you would just stay in the game and pay your blinds for like a further 15 minutes. So I'm not sure if all the tables might have that feature, but we've done it on this one. Yeah, also all three. So if you're not in profit, if you're down chips, you can leave any time you want. If you're in profit by even just one chip, then you need to use the call time feature. So we'll actually do that. I think we'll actually just play. So that's going to be what, 15:30 now. So we'll play till 15:30, and yeah. Some people don't like the feature, get annoyed by it. But if you're playing in games with like people who are buying in short, it's actually a really nice feature because it protects you being hit and run by short stackers. Now if they hit double up, then they need to, play for at least 15 minutes more. So if you get like a real bad player who's just there fucking around, they can't double through you and run away. You're going to get them. You're going to have at least 15 minutes, probably a lot longer because they'll probably just keep playing. But you have at least 15 minutes in order to have a chance to take advantage of the fact you've got a bad player at your table with double the chips he started with. So yeah, I didn't like the feature at first. I was like, not sure like that. I like to just end my sessions whenever I want. But as long as you're alert to it and you're like, well, I want to stop playing in 15 minutes, so I'll do the call time feature on now, then it doesn't do any damage to the more dedicated grinders, and it does actually protect them a little bit more. So I actually think it's a nicer feature. I wish it was perhaps at more tables, across more clubs, because I think I do like it quite a lot. Didn't at first, got my head around it, now I like it. Be like my wife really, didn't like her much at first, got my head around her, now I like her. I'm taking a stab here with our open ender on table 3. Not going to see bet our ace jack on table 1. Yes, we're going to bet now though. We get called 20/2. I'm going to barrel a second time and then just give up unimproved. And then we get called for 2 bets, which is nice on table 1. We get our bluff through on table 2. We're going to bluff catch on table. On table 3 we get our bluff through. We're going to bluff catch on table 2 because lots and lots of things have missed. 10-9 didn't miss the flop, but clubs missed. King 10 missed. Ace King missed. Ace 10 missed. Still ahead of Ace Jack, etc. Wow, he did not bet the Ace Queen there, which is good news for us. Bad news for him. Take a stab here with our gut shot. 3 ball please, right there. 7, so now we have an open ender. I'm going to make a pretty exploitably small bet here just because I don't want to check call a larger bet. I don't think we're going to get raised very often. Ironically we do get raised. So now we've got to do some maths. We're going to call, we're getting just over 3-1. We have nowhere near 25% equity here, I don't think. So we're just going to fold. Well, with a big buy ISO raise on table 2, obviously willing to play for anyone's stack. Instead we're not going to play for no one's stack, we do play for this through stack. And we are significantly ahead, but not massively ahead. There's a good chance he's probably going to win. Now once the ace pops, we just win. But there you go, some dudes just rammed whatever that is. That's 800 chips on this. You know what? I can't even fucking think. 800 divided by 50. Oh, just do it on the fucking calculator, it's easier. 800 divided 50. Ram $16 into me, which I'll take with the Jack 4. In terms of big blinds, not a lot, but in terms of like pot size that I'm used to winning, it's significant. I'm willing to play for this guy's stack, but not this guy's, so we can make a middling sized bet. Bet fold to him, bet call versus him. Ace on the turn, not good. Can't really continue barreling our King 9 here. It's kind of a tricky spot now. I don't want to just check fold, but I'm not in love with check calling. And again, I don't think we can bet here. I think it's too thin to bet. I'm just going to check and win a lot, hopefully. So when you're doing this, you can check your call time feature by clicking on yourself. We've got 8 minutes 53 seconds left before we can leave this table without penalty. 8:51 and 8:30. Don't think it actually alerts you to the fact you can leave. I think you've got to kind of monitor it yourself. Well, we'll see, I guess. We'll see at the end of it. Maybe it'll alert me. Don't think it does so. Tell you what I've been watching a lot of lately, the old high stakes poker reruns on Poker Go. Currently just started high stakes poker 5 and I forgot just what an absolute, I mean, don't get me wrong, high stakes poker 1, 2, 3 and 4 were all superb. Every one of them different, sorry, not different, every one of them was like really good for their time. You watch the play now, and I tell you now, you could put me at those high stakes poker 1, 2 and 3 tables and I'd be the best player at the table without fucking question. But yeah, they're fucking superb. But I've just got onto high stakes poker 5 where Durr makes his TV debut or his high stakes poker debut. What a lot of fun that guy was to watch play. Fucking hell, he was. I think it's reminded me that he is my all-time favourite TV poker player, and I love Doyle. And I don't mind Negreanu, don't mind Asfandiari. A bit of a fanboy of a lot of TV poker players, but fuck me, Durr was different gravy, wasn't he? I know he's been a bit of a dick since then with the Jungle Man Challenge and stuff, but yeah, what a fucking player he was. He was a fantastic player of his day. The stuff he's doing now wouldn't stand up. He'd get slaughtered doing that stuff now against in high stakes games, but of its time, it was quite brilliant. And still a joy to watch to this day. And the commentary from Gabe, maybe it was reasonably cutting edge in its day, but now you're looking back now, the commentary and like he needs to bet to find out where he's at. He needs to bet here with like underpairs. And I think it was fucking. I'm going to bet fold here with the Ace Jack. Yeah, the commentary was just laughably bad at the time. It's probably fine. But now, looking back now, the advice or like Gabe's thoughts and feelings on what a player should do in certain spots is just it's almost like a parody. So yeah, Poker Go. It's got a lot of good content. Poker Go got a lot of shit when they first started, but they've got so much like on-demand content now for people that are stuck in lockdown. They're producing new content, new relevant content, but they've got loads of historical stuff like WSOP from, I don't know, 2012 through to the current times. All of the ESPN broadcasts, they've got all the high stakes pokers. It's just quite superb. You'll find a lot worse ways to spend $10 a month than subscribing to Poker Go. And I missed a C bet here, which is disappointing. Should have c-bet table 1, so I'm just going to check call instead. I'm going to check calling the turn 2, given we picked up some equity possibly and still have the best hand. And we're certainly going to be check calling the river after he checks back. He doesn't check back a king on the turn very often at all. So we're going to be calling this river on this run out. And if he's value betting thinner than a king, then good for him. What's the call time number? It's vape time. The call time tells me it's vape time. C-bet, not C-bet. Let's let lead out our gut shot here in a multi-way pot on the Queen 4-6 rainbow on table 2. Hope to take it down. If we don't, I hope to get there. We do take it down, which is nice. Here's 7. Do we want to call here against... In fact, I think we want to 3-bet this versus a reg, don't we? We want to be 3-betting. Look forward to seeing how much you've made on this session, because we've made money at every table. But they're all different stakes, so without getting the calculator out, I'm going to struggle to know or estimate how much it's been. No, 2 really short stacks behind the King 7. Although King 7 probably would be an open, because if it's high card strength, it's got high flush potential, etc. So maybe the King 7 should be an open. I'd certainly need to, if I'm going to continue playing in these games, I need to study my open ranges more, for sure. King 10, not a particularly good hand to call a 3-bet with, but when he makes it too small, we don't have a lot of choice. Bets big here, we're just going to fold. If he checks, we're going to check back. If he bets small, we're going to peel. He bets 2/3 pot. But he does have a reasonable c-bet percentage. I'm going to peel 1 and then see what happens on the turn. I think that's what we're going to do. It's a bit loose, but maybe he checks the turn and gives us the chance to take it away at some point. Maybe sometimes we just hit a jack. As it happens, he overbets, so it makes it really easy for us. Tiny c-bet time on table 3. Raised, easiest fold ever. Shows me the jack, good for you, sir. Don't think that was the full story somehow. guy falls to 3-bet, C-bet 75%, so we're not going to miss an opportunity to encourage him to increase that number. How are we doing on the call time? We're there, so we can sit out next blind at all tables. Oh well, we can't do that, we just leave all tables next big blind, because we're going to be fine to leave them all without being penalised. Finishing this table with the top set is nice. Normally I would c-bet this, but given the SPR is like so tiny and we have the board crushed, I think we can get away with letting the card roll off. Hopefully he improves a little bit, but not too much. And we leave. Oh, hang on. Oh, now I put blinds in. So let's get the calculator up so we can add this all up at the end. Fuck it, we'll call that. Now we're in here. Now we're in, we'll call it. Flop a pair. Checks back. Turn a gut shot. Have to call if he bets here, I think, with our pair and gut shot, given you check the flop. And probably check folding this river, I think. Yeah, certainly check folding versus that size. So we'll see what our profit is at this table. 4-3. So he bluffed us, good for him. So plus 609. 609. Oops, plus. I'm just going to quit the table now because I don't want to be putting any more blinds in. And we've got one last hand at this table. Which we're not going to play, so we are plus 2862 at this table. 2862 plus 1090. So that's 3661 coins made. I'm going to just leave this table now because I've lost focus. So that's that. So we divide that by 50 to get the dollar amount. And we had a plus $73 session, which is very nice. We'll take that. Happy days. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing just how soft the higher stakes games here are on Quadminers. It's been an eye opener for me. I'll certainly be putting more action in these tables. These stakes, looking to play anything 40 through 60, 40 through 100 nil. Not rolled for it, don't care, going to do it anyway. So yeah, fingers crossed things can go quite well for me. Take care everybody, stay safe, stay well, ignore your government if they're fucking idiots. If you're governed by Boris Johnson or Donald Trump, just ignore the fuckers, do what you think's right for yourself. Take care everybody, stay safe, much love from me, bye bye for now.